How about a hand for everyone who's putting this together? This is really hard work. I don't know that I actually have a prestigious comedy background, but I do have a comedy background, as noted by this lovely little GIF right here. So yes, so this is Upworthy's sense of humor, how to be funny without ruining everything. Please don't ruin everything. So as David said, I'm a content curator, and it's my job to find really great content and to package it so tons of people will see it. So what is an Upworthy? How many people know about Upworthy? Round of applause. Thank you. And how many people are sick of seeing Upworthy stuff in their Facebook feed? Round of applause. Sorry, jerks, we're not going anywhere. All right. So yeah, like I said, you know, we draw massive attention to meaningful content. This is a Moby concert, so we're pretty much just like Moby. All right, so let's look at the other half. So the first half is finding that great content. We'll talk about that in a second, but you know, we optimize the headline, we optimize this image, the share text, even this little excerpt test down there. We find a handsome person to post it, and then we hope that people will like it and they will share it. So how we got started is back in the day at Move On, there was this video. It's an amazing video. It's about a young man talking about his two mothers. And this guy named Zach Walls. And the original title was Zach Walls Speaks About His Family, and had 1 million viewers. It's pretty viral. But someone at Upworthy someone at Move On, sort of pre-Upworthy, retitled it, and two lesbians raised a baby, and this is what they got, and it's now at 18 million views. So this stuff really matters, and it's really important to us because we're trying to drive huge attention to these meaningful topics. Fun little fact from Zach: if you Google two lesbians with the safe search off, his moms are still the top hit. So that's pretty cool. All right, so and Upworthy, we started out with a few people, 34,000 Facebook fans. We're now at 133,000 YouTube subscribers, a bunch of Twitter followers, and about 7.2 million Facebook fans, which is why you guys hate us. But bro, do you even comedy? Good question. Because this is a humor conference and we should talk about comedy. But yeah, bro, we comedy. So this piece is about a young girl who fakes her period to get attention and sort of what happens after that. And I'm sure many of you have seen it because this is a sort of purple unicorn piece of content that has, I think it's at like 29 million views. We posted it. We thought it was great. It did well for us, but it just sort of smashed the chart. So let's take a little look at it and talk about it.
Hey, Katie. What's this?
What do you think it is? I'm on my ladies' days.
What do I think it is? Rubylicious nail polish. But she doesn't need to know that. We have to celebrate.
No, we don't.
Oh, it's family tradition. We're throwing you a first moon party.
What the hell is a first moon party?
Oh, it's one thing to lie to me, but to take that tone, it's on. Hi, do you make vagina cakes? Hello?
Then, people started showing up at my house.
Grandpa! Great to see you!
Oh my God. You're so grown up.
My grandparents, my friends.
This is so weird.
My mom's friggin' co-workers.
There she is. Hey, I got you the super pack.
These are coffee filters.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what brand you liked.
So yeah, I mean, it's so wonderful, so delightful. And one of the important things is, because you know we're talking about brands making content, is that this was a brand. They're called Hello Flow, and they make packages for women on their periods. And why it's Upworthy is because we're talking about periods, we're talking about menstruation, and we're being like, hey, fuck it, it's cool. Like we can joke about it, we can talk about it. It's not a yucky, gross thing, and it's also hilarious. And a brand made it, and so. So that's the kind of stuff we love to find. It's such a, I'll talk in a minute about like content I'm sort of looking for when I'm out there searching for stuff. But this is just such a great example. So let's look at another one. We titled this, "Never before have I laughed so hard at one guy's non-attempt to save the planet."
One day, you see that the rainforest is being destroyed at a staggering rate of 32 million acres a year. That's the equivalent of 1 football field every 78 seconds. You feel bad, angry, guilty. You've been apathetic for too long. You want to do something about it. You must do something about it. Well, this is what you're not going to do.
I quit!
You're not going to quit your job, leave your family, get on the next flight to Nicaragua, take a bus to the edge of the jungle, then hoof it across rivers, lakes, and streams on a quest to the very heart of the rainforest.
Take me to the heart of the rainforest.
You're getting closer. You're almost there. You have arrived.
You're not going to ingratiate yourself with the local tribesmen, go to great lengths to earn their respect and trust.
No.
It is around now you realize you're living out the cliche gringo fantasy of becoming an honorary native and leading the resistant forces. But screw it. If they could do it, so can you.
So I believe this was, this was from a brand. It was 7 million views on our site. And again, this was sort of talked about at Beta Brand of making, this content, this great, hilarious content, sort of incidental to your product. I mean, it's about, this, Rainforest Alliance and fair trade products. But the video is so funny, and it's actually talking about a systemic issue, which is what we care about. So, there are, a few things that I think about when I look for comedy, great comedy pieces, and it's number one, like a great premise. Like those first two had lovely premises. A girl's period party, and then we have going to extreme lengths to save the rainforest. Those are fun premises that we can start a video on, and you get to it quickly. So important, because people will click away so fast if you bore them. I mean, if you're SNL or if you're Key and Peele, people might wait around to see where your joke is coming. But if you're a brand making a funny video, people don't know who you are, so you better get to it sooner rather than later. And be a great storyteller. Both of these had great sort of arcs. If I had shown you the whole thing, it's about, this whole party that goes along. It's about his whole journey. So that's a super important thing. And then also great specifics, like the coffee filters as pads, or Siri directing you into the middle of the rainforest. I mean, those little fun things, like you're in that moment of delight. You're loving what you're watching, and those great little specifics really, like, those are things people tweet out, is quotes of that sort of stuff. And then just execution, stuff that's well edited, well cast, everything is tight. And it's, there's a lot of sort of intangibles in that, but it is also really important. And the thing to remember too, when you're making content, is when you're making viral content, you're not just making a clever ad. Because you can watch TVs, and there are great agencies that do clever, fun ads, but they're not really viral, they're not super special. You're like, oh, that was cute. When you're making viral content, it's got to really stand out, because you're competing not just against maybe other companies that are making funny stuff, but you're competing against every other piece of viral content that's on the internet. So your great video about your company or your brand has to be as funny as a clip from any of these places, because people could watch any of this other stuff, and why are they going to watch your video? So maybe you're thinking you've made a video, and you're like, it's funny, everyone will see it. And just so you know, there's about 100 hours of video per minute uploaded to YouTube. The average person has about 1,500 pieces of content to look at every day. So no. Probably not. People will not just watch it because it's funny. Now, that is the first most important part, but that's sort of, all this stuff that we do, this actually matters. And I, as a content creator myself, I used to sort of balk at this. Like, oh, there's all this social media optimization, like, what does it matter? I was that person who was like, if it's funny, people will see it. Some people will see it, but a lot more will see it if you're executing and testing and finding the best way to share it on social media. So this was actually, this was the first headline I ever published. It's about internet freedom. It's about treating internets as utilities. It's really important stuff. And it's, you probably don't own a horse and buggy or pan for gold, so why are you interneting like it's $18.99? And I wrote that, and I was like, oh, that's clever, that's funny, that's cute. You can see how it did right here. Did not do too well. And it's because it's, so we talk about framing, when I think about framing content that's funny, or taking regular content and putting a funny frame on it, you know, something like this, maybe it is a little bit cute, but it's in no way enticing. It's just a joke that's sitting there. You wouldn't want to click it. You don't know what it's about, which can work if you're enticing people, but there's nothing about it that would make you want to click. So I got a little bit better at this kind of stuff. I don't know that I got that much better. But let's look at another piece of content.
It's that time of year again. It's October. And that means it's time to be emotionally manipulated into buying all things pink. Did you know that the pink ribbon is not regulated by any agency? So any company can stamp a pink ribbon on their product and claim the fight against breast cancer, regardless if they donate any of your money. It's like how I fight racism by watching Scandal, listening to Beyonce, and seeing a black gynecologist.
So let's talk a little bit about the framing for this one and what I did. All right. So here are a couple of the headlines that I tested. And we write 25 headlines for each piece of content, and we figure out which works. So here's the first one. A bunch of gross facts about a really pretty color are going to make you flip. Yuck. Number 2, what do pink ribbons have in common with black gynecologists? Something. I promise it's something. All right. So by round of applause, who likes headline number 1 better? Okay, perfect. Who likes headline number 2 better? Thank you. That's what I thought, but apparently our audience did not think that, because the first headline had 366% more clicks, excuse me. So, you know, and that's an interesting thing to think about, is we have this funny video, but it's about something really important. So, you know, when I framed it, you know, I thought like, okay, maybe try and sell the comedy in this, but in the end, what it was is the truth, a bunch of gross facts about a really pretty color. So you're taking this funny piece and you're framing it in this way that people are going to care about it and people are going to be enticed to click on it. So let's take a look at another one.
Hi, I'm Amy Adams, playing a man, playing a merman. While you ponder that, let me tell you about Reef Reels, an exciting new initiative from GetUp that pairs emerging filmmakers with the important issue of saving the reef.
We're looking for original films up to 3 minutes in length.
Be as creative, inventive, and informative as possible. If selected, your film will screen live in front of 90,000 people at Tropfest 2014. Savi? Entries open on the 10th of October and close on the 25th of November. With bonus incentives for finishing quickly. Reef Reels is your chance to get recognized for your creativity and talent. And do some good in the process, like helping this guy out. Cute. So get shooting and help save the reef today. I'm on a horse, a seahorse.
So fun fact, I actually met that guy, and he's even better looking in person, I swear to you, which is hard to believe. All right, so let's look at a couple of the headlines. Number 1, they say the pen is mightier than the sword, but to fight for the reef, you can also use your lens. A buff man from Australia shows off his adequately sized turtle for a really important cause. All right, round of applause. Who likes number 1 better? All right, interesting. All right, who likes number 2 better? Thank you. And our audience agreed. 600% more clicks, which is, you might think I'm a big liar now because I just talked about framing something funny in this serious manner, and here we frame something funny in this funny manner. And that's, you know, we have the good fortune of having a great system of testing, you know, so we can figure this stuff out because you don't know until you're testing, until you're optimizing it. Now, if you're posting to social media, you know, you might not have some robust test system, but like I said, we write 25 headlines, and you can sort of look, you're like, if you just have your own social media page, you write your 25 headlines, look at them and think about which of those is actually going to pull people in. If you saw that headline on the Huffington Post, which one would compete with a Rihanna nip slip for your click? Because again, you are competing against all that sort of stuff. So yeah, this was it. And then, so what did we sort of learn? Takeaways. I have not watched this movie in forever, but I remember it being really good. So nail the content. That's the sort of stuff, you know, great premise, great specifics, telling stories, and you know, nailing all those sort of intangible things and getting to it early, and then, you know, framed correctly. And you know, that, like I said, it can be tougher if you don't have a robust system, but it's something that you need to be thinking about if you're trying to get people to click on your content and to share your content. So thank you guys so much for your time. You've been lovely. Have a great day.